Mystery Funhouse was the 7th Scott Adams Grand Adventure published, still by Adventure International and still originally released for the TRS-80 Model I in 1979. However, recent acquisitions of Adventure International software catalogs now allow me to narrow down the release of the S.A.G.A ports to the COCO to being released on a 16K cassette in 1983 for $24.95, which was first printed in Volume 3, Issue 4 of the catalog on page 11. Mystery Funhouse is not as original as some that come before it. It borrows many ideas and puzzle concepts from other releases. The fact it was written in about a week shows in gameplay. This is not to say that it is not enjoyable. It is completely enjoyable. Taking a secret agent into a carnival and running all over the map back and forth multiple times to find a set of secret plan, it works. But only because the game says it works. What is missing in originality, it makes up for in familiarity. And the void it creates in atmosphere, it allows your own mind to fill with your own thoughts and fears. It makes each person's trip through the game unique to themselves. This trip we are going to take is on a TRS-80 Color Computer 3 using Color Extended Disk Basic 2.1. Even if the game was originally released on cassette, I have converted it over to a floppy disk, and as you can see, with our directory here, we're ready to start. Now I want to warn you in advance, there is a glitch in this game, and I'm not sure if it's just my copy or if it was part of the general distribution, but the only effect it has is to display garbled characters on the screen when certain actions are taken, and this in no way affects the outcome of the game. As you can see, this is the same disk that we have been using for a while, and this time we want to load M Funhouse. Wait for it to load, and then execute. We do not have lowercase. Actually we do, I just find it easier to read without it. Adventure, version 5.73, Adventure number 7, version 1.45, copyright Adams 1979, box 3435 Longwood, Florida, phone 1305-862-6917, color conversion by Roger Schrag. This program will allow you to have an adventure without ever leaving your armchair. You will find yourself in a strange new world. You will be able to look at, pick up, and otherwise manipulate objects you find there. You will also be able to move from location to location. I will be your puppet in this adventure. You command me with 2-word English sentences. I have a vocabulary of over 120 words, so if a word doesn't work, just try another. Some commands I know: score, help, save game, inventory, quit. Please don't copy or accept a pirated copy of Adventure. Would you like to restore a previously saved game? No, I have no previously saved game here. Now here we are at our standard interface. Upper portion, the world; lower portion, our interactions with the world. Welcome to Adventure 7 by Scott Adams, dedicated to Marin Computer Center. I'm carrying the following: shoes, watch, hard dry chewing gum. What shall I do? I'm in front of the funhouse. Visible items, sign, ticket, counter. Now if you watched my Model I version of this game, you will find that we are going through a different path together than we did before. Some parts will look like a mirror, other parts will be jumbled around a little bit, and that's because I like to try and keep it refreshed. Another thing you will notice is that some of the commands are crippled versions of what was in the Model I. This game plays a little more simplistically, such as when you put the gum on the stick. In the Model I you would type put gum and it would ask you where, and you tell it on stick. But here you do not tell the put gum. It just assumes the put gum. It's a little less intuitive that way, and if I had not done this on the Model I before, it might not have been something that I would have figured out as easily as I did. What we are going to do is we are going to go and read the sign. Park closes at midnight. Shoes required at all times. Management not responsible for accidents. Caution, this park is dangerous. Let's examine our watch. 598 turns till midnight. We have got forever in this game. Trust me on this one. Let's go east. I am in a parking lot. Visible items, rusty closed grating, dead tree, $5 bill. Let's look at the tree. Only thing left is one bare branch. Let's get the branch. And now we want to look at the grating. I see a shiny coin at the bottom of the drain. 2 big bolts hold it down. We are in the rusty parking lot. Visible items, rusty closed grating, dead tree, $5 bill. Obvious exits are west. We need to get the coin, so we are going to chew the gum. Okay, that tastes horrible. And then we are going to Put the gum on the stick. Then we use the stick. Got it. We need to go west. Back in front of the fun house. We want to buy a ticket. That'll be $1. We are going to give the $1 to the attendant. She hands me a ticket. Now before we go in, we need to wear the shoes because the sign says shoes required at all times. And then we can go into the funhouse. I'm in a magical mirror room. Visible items, strange mirror. Obvious exits are north and south. We are going to take a quick trip north, and we are in a windy maze. I'm not sure if this is windy or windy, but I'm going to assume based on context it's windy. From here we need to go west, through the maze, west again into a small room with obvious exits north and west, and go west again. The wall closed behind me. I am in a room with a low ceiling. Visible items, skeleton, strange knobs on wall that are yellow, green, and blue. Obvious exit is west. We're going to pull the green knob, and here is where you get the garbled text that I mentioned, but the wall swings me around and I'm elsewhere. I'm in a small room. Visible items, small trampoline. Obvious exits are south and up. We are going to go south into a shooting gallery. Visible items, strange spectacles, window, gun pointing into and mounted by window. Obvious exits are north. So let's drop the stick, and then we are going to get the spectacles. Then we need to head north, the only obvious direction, back to a small room. Visible items, small trampoline. Obvious exits are south and up. We are going to go up into a room with a low ceiling. This is the central room of the game. And then we need to go west. Beside a large tank, visible items, window in tank, obvious exits are east and up. We're going to go up a few times. Into a sloping hallway, obvious exits are up and down. On a small landing, visible items, slippery slide, sign on slide. Obvious exits are north, east, and up. Let's go ahead and read the sign. Authorized personnel only. Go up again. In a rickety staircase, obvious exits are up and down. And go up one more time. On a ledge over a deep pit, visible items, ladder going down, sign on ladder, some obvious exits are south and east. Let's go east. In a large rolling barrel room, visible items, comb, exit, and match. I want to get rid of the watch because I'm really not going to be looking at it. And then from here I'm going to get the comb. And then to get out of here, we need to crawl. So we are back on the ledge looking over a deep pit. From here we go south to the rickety staircase, down to where the slide is. We've already read the sign, so let's go to the slide. Oh no, I am all washed up. I am in a windowed tank. Visible items, closed drain, water, mermaid, rusty key. Let's give the comb to the mermaid. She thanks me and turns a hidden knob. Then we need to get the key. And we want to get out of here, and to do that we go to the stairs. On a slippery landing, visible item, slippery slide, sign on slide. We've read the slide sign before, so we are going to go north into the sloping hallway, and then down, beside a large tank, visible items, window in tank, and we are going to go east, and we are back in the skeleton room. Now we're going to pull the yellow knob. We will get the garbled text on screen. There's strange music playing. I'm in a small room. We need to go north, which takes us back into the maze, and then we will go south, still in the maze, south again, in the maze, and then go east. We are back in the magical mirror room. You remember this is the room we first entered the funhouse with? And here we need to wear the spectacles, and then look at the mirror. I can see myself thin, fat, and tall. I see a hidden door in it. I'm going to note here for you that this is one of the locations. If you break the mirror, a bouncer will show up and remove you for vandalism and kick you out of the park. We want to open the door because we are not breaking it, and then we are going to go to the door. In an observation chamber, visible items, valve handle with no valve, one-way mirror, locked door. Exits are east. Let's go ahead and drop the spectacles. That is a word I did not know how to spell until I started playing this game. And then get the handle. And then let's get out of here by going east, back into the magical mirror room, north, which puts us in the maze, and then we just go west through the maze into the small room, and then back into the skeleton room where we are going to pull the blue knob. More garbled text. Wall swings me around and I'm elsewhere. I'm in a small room. Visible items. Fortune-telling machine. Sign. Let's go ahead and read the sign. It says it's out of order. Let's get the sign. As you see, we're carrying too much. So if we look at what we're carrying, the one thing that we do not need is the ticket. At least so far, I do not believe we need the ticket. So let's drop the ticket and hope we run into no problems. Let's get the sign and then head down, which puts us back in the skeleton room. And then we are going to pull the green knob, which puts us in a small room with a trampoline. Here we are going to go south and put us back in the shooting gallery. There is a stick with gum on the end, a window, and a gun pointing into and mounted by the window. We have been here before, obviously, by the stick with gum on the end. And here we want to drop the sign. We are in essence telling everyone that the gun is out of order. This is, of course, very important if we do not wish to get shot later. So now we go north, back into the small room with the trampoline. We are going to get the trampoline and then go up, which puts us back in the skeleton room. From here we go west, and then let's go back up and up. This is where the slide was. Go up again and up to where there's the sign on the ladder. If we read the sign, it says the same as some of the other signs, authorized personnel only. So we want to go to the ladder. Fire ladder retracts and leaves me here. But we are in a pit with visible items of a locked door and a valve on a large warm pipe. We are going to drop the handle. In the Model 1 version, I had put handle, but we're going to try drop handle this time, see what we get. It puts it on the valve. Now we want to turn the valve. This should turn off a calliope later in the game. And then we drop the trampoline, and then go to the trampoline. Puts us on the trampoline, where we are going to jump up to the ladder, taking us back up to the top of the edge looking over the deep pit. We go east into the rolling barrel and get the match that we left before. And then we want to crawl out and go south to the rickety staircase, down to where the slide is, go north from here to the sloping hallway, down again, beside the large tank. The visible items are the window in tank. The obvious exits are east and up. We came from up, so we go east to a room with a low ceiling. Visible items, a skeleton, strange knobs on wall, yellow, green, and blue. We're used to this room. Let's pull the blue knob. Puts us in a small room with visible items, ticket, fortune-telling machines, obvious exits, east and down. We are going to go east into a large room with a tall ceiling. Visible items, quiet calliope, merry-go-round, blue button. Let's push the blue button. The ride stops. Again, garbled text, so it is not just when we are pulling on the knobs, it's on pushing buttons as well. So we want to go to the merry-go-round, on a merry-go-round, visible items, wooden horse, obvious exits are down. We're going to go to the lone horse. In a merry-go-round, on a wooden horse, visible items, pole coming out of horse's back, obvious exits are down. Let's climb the pole. A tiny piece of hemp falls on my head and vanishes, so let's look up and see what's dropping the hemp. There's a rope hanging from the ceiling, so let's jump again. Good thing this rope's not too long. I'm on a catwalk. Visible items, locked door, rope hanging down. Obvious exits are east and down. We are going to go east in a storeroom. Visible items, locked door, red knob and wall, wrench. Let's unlock the door. And then we want to get the wrench. Let's go ahead and drop the keys now. I don't know what keys are. Drop the key. That is an interesting point now. This game is working on a 4-character parser, not a 3-character parser like the previous games. Good to know. Thank you for showing that to me. Let's look at the shelves. There's a flashlight there. Let's get the flashlight. And then we want to go west, which is the exit out of here. And then a bunch of down in order to get back onto the ground. And from here we go south. This should take us back to the fortune-telling room. We go down again, and that puts us in the skeleton room, where we are going to pull the yellow knob. We're elsewhere, which is a small room. Obvious exits are north and west. So we are going to go north into the windy maze. And let's navigate through here. East, and then south, and then east, and then south, and then east, and then east. On our way there, we have been kicked out by the bouncer. Bouncer throws me out. What shall I do? Well, let's see. We are in front of the fun house, so this does not matter at all. We are looking specifically for a particular room. So let's go east, which puts us in the parking lot. Visible items, rusty clothes grating, dead tree. Let's open the grate. How? With the wrench. Let's drop the wrench, because we do not need it. We were only able to remove one bolt. If we could try again, it would do nothing. So let's, instead of trying to open it, slide the grate. There is now a dark manhole. So we light the flashlight and then go into the manhole. I am in a manhole. Obvious exits are east and up. We do not want to go up. We need to go east. In a sewer system, visible items, open flood door, dark hole, large grate, welded over hole. We want to close the door. And if you've noticed at various times, it has told me that my heel is loose. We need to pay attention to that now and remove the heel. Something fell out. There's now a short fuse and a letter added to things. Let's read the letter. James, we must get the plans back by tonight. We believe they're hidden within this funhouse. Signed, M. P.S. Q says enjoy the gum. Obvious Ian Fleming James Bond reference here. Let's drop the heel, because we do not need the heel in hand, but we can get the fuse, and then let's chew the gum again. It still tastes horrible. We are going to stick the gum on the fuse, and then we are going to, in the Model 1 version, I told it to stick the gum on the grate. Gum is stuck to grate. Let's light the fuse. Sizzle. It burns with a dull glow. Pop. Let's go into the hole now, because it has opened the dark hole. In a long tunnel, obvious exits are up and down. Let's go up into a large ribbon, visible items, clay pigeons. Remember the sign that we put up that said out of order? If we did not put that up, coming into this room would get us shot. Let's go south now, because the obvious exits are south and down. In a hidden laboratory, visible items, locked door, missing top secret plans, obvious exits are north. So we're going to get the plans. Garbled text. The adventure is over. Do you want to play again? No. And it returns us back to Disk Extended Color Basic 2.1. Playing this game again, except on the COCO instead of the Model 1, and taking a slightly different path gives it a different feeling. And I have to say that's good. I still have some of the same criticisms about it, reusing some of the same concepts and puzzles from previous games. I guess you could say it's not that it came from a previous game, but that it came from the game directly before it that rubs me raw. I like to think that there's some originality, and an homage needs a little more time before it's not just blatant copying. I'm going to stand firm on the idea that this game is best played by intermediate or better skilled levels. It's not one that a beginner should start with too much backtracking and not enough direct clue. The handle we dropped on the pipe in the pit as an example, if it's missed, it's a game stopper. But there's no logical way to connect the need to put the handle on the valve and turn the valve, which will stop the calliope from playing and bringing your game to a halt. Just saying. If you have any questions, comments, or considerations, please feel free to leave them with me in the comments below. I usually get to them in a timely manner. If you like what you see, click like and or subscribe to my channel. I know you're being bombarded by that all the time from every direction, but honestly, who else out there does Let's Plays of classic interactive fiction text adventures? Something to think about, really. You know, if you have a request, I am open to them. Just let me know, and I'll look at them and let you know if I'm able to make it happen. Otherwise, this is me, signing off for now, and totally looking forward to our next adventure together.